Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Healing Journal, where I'm sharing my healing journey in real time. Oh, hold on, we have more people coming into Key West. Welcome to Key West. So today I'm going to talk about what to look for when you might be attracting a master manipulator, possibly a narcissistic personality. I want to talk about the love bombing stage. It's the beginning. It's where this Prince Charming just comes in, right? And this Prince Charming might use certain excuses and set up certain stories and narratives to fit their lies. For me, I've experienced this where maybe this person told me that their family hated them and mistreated them, and their family never included them in on anything. And so I believed that. Maybe this person said that they never cheated on anybody before, and they were so worried about being cheated on and needed this kind of strange connection in the beginning, but they get you with this because they play the victim. And for someone like me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's awful. And I know what that feels like. I've been cheated on before. And, this whole story of being cheated on, or maybe the person that they're going through a divorce with was an alcoholic, and all this, just all these stories they might tell you, right? And these stories can stack up into that they were cheated on, or and they're going to tell you all of this like on the first date. Okay. And sometimes we can get wrapped up in having compassion for people. The other side of this is sometimes they can come in and pretend like they're being really honest. So it's like they'll overshare certain things, but these things aren't necessarily true. And that's where they get you. They might say that their family doesn't like them, their family doesn't include them in on things, their family might be judgmental and mean to them. And of course, if you have never met their family and maybe they're not from where you're from or haven't lived where you are very long, it can be kind of hard to research and see if any of this is true or not. The other stage is saying I love you, like nearly right away. And while this might be really sweet and it might take you back for a second, go, oh, wow, that happened really fast. For someone like me who's a hopeless romantic and believes in the real love story, I mean, I got caught in that web believing that this was true. And this person saying, I've looked for you my whole life and I gave up on love. And then I met you and I realized, that love still exists. And then suddenly, here's another airplane. Hold on. Welcome to Key West. So these types of lies can be very dangerous because they might say that they're going through a divorce and they're really not yet. And then you get so involved and you believe their lies that suddenly you're caught in this strange web and you start to try to connect the dots, and certain things aren't making sense, but they will make a little sense. They'll make just enough sense to lure you in. They may try to push you to do sexual things that you're not comfortable doing. Take it from me, don't do it. Just don't do it. If you're not comfortable doing something, don't let somebody bully you and push you into doing something. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're not comfortable doing it, don't do it. I've made certain mistakes in my life and I have to look back on my behavior and go, why did I do certain things I wasn't comfortable doing? Why did I feel pressured? And then a lot of times these people will back up. If they start to see you getting uncomfortable, they'll back it up with, are you okay? But hang in there, because if this person is love bombing you, they're going to bring you all these sorry notes, love notes. They're going to give you gifts, and you may be tempted to do that back. Like for me, I'm a writer and I love notes. It's one of my love languages, is leaving notes and doing different things. Being manipulated into situations can be very dangerous. So like this person could say something along the lines of, well, I really am going through a divorce, but let's be careful because, I don't want this person's feelings to get hurt. And I'm like, oh my gosh, absolutely. And they'll say things like, we had a chat about seeing other people while we're going through a divorce. Big red flag. Okay. I have fallen for these lies before. Take it from me, it's not worth it. Okay. Because if they really are a sick person, they're just going to repeat this cycle with someone else. And suddenly they're going to start calling you mama, or if they have a dog or something, that's yes, your mama, like real quick. And then when they are over you, they're going to start calling the next person mama. Okay. They might start bringing things over to your house progressively. Like there'll be something new every day, whether it's like a dog bed or maybe it's, you know, more clothes, and they're going to start to plant their seeds. Now, the scary part of this is if you are a, for narcissists specifically, if you are a grade A, oh, here we go again. Another airplane coming in. Welcome to Key West. So if you are grade A supply, which means you're an energy supply. So if you're a grade A supply, this person has their version of respect for you, and they're going to find you attractive, and they're going to love bomb you just over and over again. And when they start this love bombing stage, you're going to get hooked. That's where they hook you. And I wish I had known all this. Because I'm genuinely a lover and I am genuinely on board for amazing love stories. And so I got hooked in this. And the other supply is not necessarily grade A, but for example, you know, there are certain things that I've been told, like, oh, you're high maintenance because you're so hot. First of all, talk about a backhanded compliment, but not something that I ever want to hear again. But, you know, they also might say about their other supply that may not be the grade A supply, the supply of maybe the person that has been a backup plan in the wings. They'll say things like, that person's old and ugly, and they have ugly female parts, right? But because I'm a catch compared to them, they'll never leave me, so it's safe. These are things that someone has said to me. This is crazy. And you know, the more that they say these things, the more you almost like the first time you hear them, you're like, wait, what? And then they'll back it up with something cutesy and funny, like, ooh, like they'll just be silly or goofy sometimes. And these are what you call covert narcissists, and they look real sharp. They are very materialistic. They have this facade and this shell around them. And then they, behind closed doors, become a different person. And you'll start to see in the first like month, you'll start to see a few cracks, especially if they have substance abuse and addiction issues, which is very common in these people because they don't, hi doggy, because they don't feel emotions like the average person, because their amygdala is literally incapable. Okay, and you'll have to Google all that, and I'm no doctor, I'm not going to go deep dive on these medical things, but I really, really, really want you to pay attention to this, because first of all, I am not easy to fool, I'm not easy to trick, and I'm not the girl you want to mess with, because I will figure it out. And I figured it out, and this is their worst fear. So what happens is these cracks start to show. If you start to call them out, especially if you are a grade A supply, they're going to start going, I'm sorry. It won't be genuine. They'll bring you flowers, right? And then they'll start to play the victim again. And then their apology will last about this long until something else happens. Okay, something mean. They might make racial comments. In my past, this happened. And one of the biggest red flags for me towards the end of this type of relationship for me was when I noticed that they were worshiping and watching things that involved Nazis. Okay, this is really scary stuff, you know, and it's one of those things where, you know, that's just nasty. That's nasty stuff. And there were little clues along the way. And when there were racist comments being made, it made me very uncomfortable. That is not my cup of tea. I do not like to hang out with people who are nasty like that. And when I would ask, you know, hey, would you mind just like not saying that? I didn't realize at that moment in time that I was really dealing with somebody who truly hated people for absolutely no reason, but maybe their skin color. And, you know, you get that icky feeling, and I'm just not down with that. So and then maybe they'll go, I'm just joking. And like, but it's not funny. These are things that are not funny. And, you know, luckily I was able to walk away. And what's more interesting is they'll start to say things like, I know that you think that I, you know, slept with that person. Okay. And you're like, I don't even know who that person is. And I've never thought that before. And then maybe you have a fight and they come back and they keep saying stuff like, yeah, you definitely think I slept with that person. And they start to create this narrative. And it's usually like 6-ish months before they plan their exit. Okay. This person could say, I don't have the money to save my house. Please help me save it. I fell victim to that as well. Okay. And did my swooping and fixing. That is another red flag. Another red flag would be, something along the lines of this person saying one thing and then literally a minute later, after you repeat what they say and say, "You said this. What do you mean by that?" They go, "I never said that." And their composure changes, their tone changes, and they're a different person behind closed doors. You go out that door and maybe you go to like a party with this person or a family get together. And if they don't ruin it because they've had too much to drink or maybe took drugs or something, they'll start to be really nice to everybody. They might help an elderly person down the stairs or open the door for them. They might just be real charismatic. And it's like, wow, there's that person that I fell in love with. They're not that bad. That's where they get you. As soon as all that's over and you get in the car, it could be as soon as you get in the car on the way home, they become evil again to you. And this is where the gaslighting starts. And it really screws with you because if you believed in that first love bombing stage, it's an addiction, even for people like me who don't necessarily have addiction issues, but you get those dopamine hits in the beginning and you get tricked and you get fooled. And it's like, it's so scary. I'm getting uncomfortable now talking about it at this point. I'm starting to feel icky. But again, and then if they start acting out on you, you're going to eventually start to snap. And then that's when they're going to turn it all around on you. So let's say this person attacks you to the floor, and the only way for you to get up is to push them off of you. If they have a scratch or anything, what are they going to do? Well, in my experience, they snap a picture of that and then save it, and they use it to turn around on you, especially if you start to call them out for their BS. They hate that. And when they've realized that you have them figured out, when you expose that to, let's just say maybe they said they were going to end their life, maybe, right? And they find a way to, if you told friends and family about this because you were worried about them, they're going to find a way to spin this around and make you look like the crazy one. Okay. And this is really dangerous because somebody like me, if somebody mentions wanting to end their own life, I take that very seriously. And I would never want that for anyone. And so my compassion comes in. And, to have somebody be building this, what they call a smear campaign. Okay. And I'm going to do more videos on this. But when they try to do a smear campaign, which means play your loved ones against you, they start this early on and they set it up so that by the time you do break up or by the time the friendship ends or whatever relationship this is, they already have their army in the sidelines, in the wings, okay, waiting to make sure that their narrative is going to be backed up. And it's all with lies, or they'll like twist the truth. So let's just say, they come into your room and start yelling at you. What they're going to tell their friends is something along the lines of, "I was taking a pee, and then she came in and opened the door and started yelling at me, so I said this," right? When the truth is you were literally trying to stay safe in your own room away from this person or minding your own business, and they barged in on you and started abusing you. Okay. This is where it starts happening from so many different angles. It can be so confusing to know what's real and what isn't. And I started to question what was real and what wasn't. I wasn't hanging out with my friends as much anymore. I was isolated. I was being manipulated. And these people tell their work colleagues, especially at work, because if they're a covert narcissist, they're going to be really good at making sure that their profession looks good if everything else in their life is falling apart. Okay. And maybe this person was a bartender before or something, right? Well, maybe that was, I know in my past I've thought, well, maybe that's a bad environment for that person, so maybe I should suggest them getting a better job that keeps them out of that. That's going back to like my video yesterday about learning to stay on my side of the street in my own lane, because I was preventing this person from them getting in trouble with their own consequences, right? That they've earned themselves, because I didn't want that for that person. I really cared. And I believed in the love bombing stage in the beginning. I believed that this person was a victim. I believed that this person would never cheat on me. And guess what? I was very wrong, or anyone else for that matter. These people might say, Oh, I've not been intimate with anybody but one person in the last 8 years. BS. That's it. End of story. BS. Okay. All of this stuff is to create that perfect picture. And what's really scary, these people believe their own lies. So you can't argue with them. And that's where the exhaustion comes in. And these types of things are so dangerous, and they start to, when they build this army, they might even play your own family against you. They might even, I mean, just so you know from experience, people that I thought would never leave my side have taken the side of the abuser. Okay. And there's not just one abuser in my life and in my past, there's multiple, unfortunately. And, I didn't realize some of these behaviors were bad because I learned to live with this. And like I said in one of my other videos, after watching footage of videos, watching the amount of abuse that I took was insane. And there's hours and hours of proof of this happening. And I don't even want to see all of it. I don't even want to listen to all of it. It's too dark and too harsh. Okay. But the thing I want to leave you guys with here today is that, and I'm getting ready to go out to dinner, and I'm really excited because I'm going to hang out with some of the people that I love the most. So, I want to leave you guys with, surround yourself with good people. And sometimes when nothing makes sense, and maybe you've lost your support system that you thought was your most trusted support system for whatever reason, don't change your character because other people are confused. Okay. I could and have every right to want to do things that you see in the movies, right? Where the girl reacts and, like sets stuff to fire and walks away, And maybe I can get that out in a music video someday or something. But the reality of this is I'm enjoying my healing journey. And today I'm feeling good. I'm a little bit better every day. And I've decided to look at this as a gift because today when I was at the beach, I was looking around like, wow, this is amazing. I'm getting a fresh start and I'm learning so many lessons. And if I can prevent somebody else from getting hurt, or at least if I can help somebody with their healing journey, and in sharing my journey with others, maybe it helps and gives you the courage to be strong, even if it means finding your next relationship. I hope that this helps you. I have every right to be angry. I'm 39 years old and I thought I would be a wife and a mom by now. And it's going to be a while before I'm ready to be in a relationship. I'm not ready for that. And I don't know what that means for becoming a mother. And that's heartbreaking that I gave way too much time to somebody that stole that from me. But maybe they didn't steal it from me. Welcome to Key West. And I could get hung up on the anger of that because I tried to have a baby for 2 years, over 2 years. And, you know, finding out that the other person didn't take that as seriously and was being intimate with others, even before I met them, that hurts. And it hurts when you find out that you were pulled into a web of lies. And if I had known, right? If I had known that this person was this bad and had this many addictions and was a cheater and all these things, I never would give somebody like that a chance. Never, never. Not in a million years would I ever. And I think that this type of personality knows that, when we meet these people. So just remember, if I can heal through this, I promise you can too. And not getting stuck in the negativity and surrounding yourself with good people. I know it can be hard to know who's good and who's not good, especially when you've been gaslit so much that you don't know what to believe, what's real. For me, I didn't even know which way was up, which way was down, sideways. And then people around me were like, gosh, why is she so upset all the time? I was upset all the time because I was being abused and I was lying to my friends and family and I wasn't being honest because I thought that I could fix this person. I thought I could help this person and I wasted a lot of time. But you know what? This is the greatest gift of my life because now I get to live the rest of my life with this knowledge and this healing power through this recovery. And I've never felt more whole in my life inside. Now I have to build this new version of me. And so I'm not broken. I do feel shattered in moments, right? But what's really shattered was the old life I was living, which was a complete lie. And I kind of knew it, but I didn't know it to the degree, right? So just be careful. Don't forget, they're going to love bomb you in the beginning. They're going to look perfect, charismatic. They're usually pretty good looking. And being in the entertainment industry, I've seen a lot of people like this, and people confuse entertainers for being narcissistic. I can tell you right now, we're not all narcissists. Many of us have a lot of feelings and we do care. And so I'm here to stand up for all the entertainers out there and musicians and actors and actresses that are not bad. Okay, not everybody's bad. And some of these people may look normal. They may be working a normal job and they might just be extra love bomb and charismatic, right? Be very careful. These people are dangerous. They're very dangerous. Okay. So stay safe, and thank you guys so much for hanging with me. And today's a good day. I'm feeling really good. And now I'm going to go do something that is selfishly one of my favorite things to do, which is hang out with people that I love and go eat some good food. All right. I'll see you guys later tomorrow. All right. Bye bye. Hope this helped.